G'day there, trendsetters. Jon Minadeo, number 2, the second, he needs to get a DNA test because he probably is Jewish. I can smell from a mile away his great-great-great-great-grandmother, probably on his maternal side, heard Jewish kosher cooking. Something is smelling a bit rotten in the way he behaves. So who is Jon Minadeo? He looks like Groucho Marx, who's also Jewish, also a Red Sea pedestrian. But Jon Minadeo was a clown, is a Nazi clown, who with his band of little merry men in little floral shirts, SS wannabes, Kanye fanboys, they were yelling anti-Semitic slurs, Jew-hating slurs, Hail Hitler, all that stuff, goose-stepping around out the front of a Chabad house in Florida. And he's done some other trolling kind of clown stunts. Now, why am I making a video about Nazis and anti-Semitism? I happen to take a bit of an issue with anti-Semitism. I agree completely with Christopher Hitchens, who himself is also a Red Sea pedestrian, found out later in life. It's quite an interesting parallel, that he had a particular issue with anti-Semitism. One, I believe, because of his innate Jewish soul. It had a certain revulsion against the hatred of his own people, his own clan, his own tribe. Nothing wrong with tribalism if it's inclusive and loving and looking for not domination like these little Nazi Kanye fanboys. And so he takes particular issue with anti-Semitism, and he says it is always the gateway to fascism and tyranny, and it always devolves into violence. So that's why anti-Semitism is always a big issue. It's the canary in the coal mine about the downfall of a society or its culture. And generally, it's not a good thing for any society to embrace this. It didn't really work well for Germany. The 1,000-year Reich ended in ashes and ended in 12 years. It's a complete failure, utter failure. Now, would Jon Minadeo, number 2, be the first Jew to be an anti-Semite, a Jew hater? Hell no. He's not the first, he won't be the last. There's many neo-Nazis in recent history, and also in older history, of Jews who knowingly or unknowingly are Jewish and hate their own people and fight against them. And I think what John needs to understand, John's a Jewish name, Jonathan, God gave, and his surname Minadeo, actually, from a little bit of research, could be Italian origin, Latin, meaning led by Deo, by God. So God gave and he's led by God. Jon Minadeo, number 2, he needs to understand that he is a concept. I'm paraphrasing Rabbi Meir Kahana. He's more than just a person, he's an idea, he's a concept. Rabbi Meir Kahana, also, come on, John, Yoni, calling your little organization the Goyim Defense League, that's giving lots of nachas to Rabbi Meir Kahana for the Jewish Defense League. Those who know. But John, Jonathan, you're an idea, and you're not the first Jew hater who's actually probably also Jewish. Now, I can't take you seriously, and your 6 little men in your merry band of men can't take you seriously until you get a DNA test and show that you are not Jewish, or not at least 20-30% Jewish, and probably halachically Jewish, meaning your mother's mother was Jewish. That makes you Jewish, which means you need to put tefillin on, which is good that you are outside Chabad house, because you should be putting tefillin on Jonathan. You should be putting tefillin on Yoni. But Jon Minadeo is an idea. And what does that mean? Because what he's really symbolizing is projection. And a projection of what we would term in IFS an inner polarization. There's an inner conflict in his inner parts. There are parts of him that deep down know that they're Jewish. And there are other parts of him that rail against that. And that's on a genetic level, it's on a spiritual level, and it's on a psychological level. And it's a very difficult existence to be in. And all that internal conflict then gets projected outwards, and the inner Jew of himself that he hates, he projects onto others. And so he has to come and find meaning, purpose, and solace and self-medication in prancing around in floral shirts, yelling Hail Hitler outside a Chabad house while people are trying to work and people are trying to do good. And you're going around in the middle of the day instead of actually doing anything productive in society, projecting all of your inner turmoil on others rather than working on it. Come on, John, you're better than that. You are better than that, okay? Your parents and your grandparents know you're better than that, and I know you're better than that. So you're not the first and you're not the last anti-Semite to have it. I've had debates with anti-Semites. In previous videos, I called out Simply Vegan for being a little Hitler Kanye fanboy, and I called him out for it, and this guy came and debated with me. I welcome all Nazis. I'll debate you all. I'm very happy to debate you all. Very happy to fight you all as well. Sorry, there's a soldier part of me in this talk. Wasn't the IDF, military trained, not like you guys. You played close combat, you played a bit of Call of Duty, you think you're military trained. No, wrong. That's me there in the black. Just sometimes, civilian life can be a bit boring, just miss it. But anyway, I digressed. Sorry, I just had to speak for that soldier part. But yeah, of course, my Bible doesn't teach to turn the other cheek, okay? And this soldier part needs to say that we just had Purim and we just celebrated it. And it's more than just they tried to kill us. They failed, let's eat. It's more that they tried to kill us, we killed them, now let's eat. That's Jewish history. Look at the story of Hanukkah, look at the story of Purim. These are important ideas in Jewish history. So we haven't survived thousands of years of persecution and exile because we believe in turning the other cheek and we've beaten all of our plows into, our swords into plowshares. No. The art of violence is very important in Jewish history and in Jewish reality. And it's dangerous for Jews not to be dangerous. But where were we? Jon Minadeo is an idea, and he's projecting that inner turmoil on others. There was this guy, I debated with him, he admitted that he was of Dutch stock, but also probably Jewish, and he's a Dutch Nazi collaborator in the war. Then he lives in South Africa, and all of his inner projection and of that inner hatred was projected onto hatred of the Jew, hatred of the other. And so the message to John, and John the idea, and John in all of us, is whenever we see something that triggers us, and triggers in us some hatred, and triggers in us some anger and rage, first we need to look inside and see what's going on inside. How does that exist on some level in us? And then can we do the work? Can we unburden? Can we do the healing through IFS, internally family systems? Coming with compassion. John, you need to come with compassion to the inner you that feels so insecure, so hurt, so fearful that you need to prance around in floral shirts, yelling Heil Hitler, and denying the Holocaust, but simultaneously wishing to inflict another one on the Jewish people. It's sad. Really, it's nebuch. So John the concept, I can't take you seriously till you get a DNA test, 23andMe. I challenge you, put it up on YouTube, nothing to be afraid of. Show how much Jewish blood is in you. And then we can take you seriously. John, take care. You know where to find me.